Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So the topic of the day is, should I go for the reconsideration or should I go for a reapplication if my Canadian visitor visa or the study visa got refused? Specifically, visitor visa got refused. That's the topic of the day. My name is Niladri Mukherjee. I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant, practice in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada. So the fundamental difference between a reconsideration and the reapplication is this. If you think you have provided everything correctly, yet your file got refused, then you should go for a reconsideration. But if you think that, well, there should have been something that you should have provided which you did not provide, then a reconsideration does not really make any sense. Then you should go for a reapplication. Now, what you think is also very different from what the officers have already thought. For example, if you are simply not agreeing with the decision of the officer, that does not really tantamount to a reconsideration, because you may not agree with his decision, but he has cited some section of the law and the regulations and had some basis to make that kind of a decision which he had already made. So your mere disagreement to the officer does not really tantamount to a reconsideration. Other thing is that a reapplication is your right, a reconsideration is not your right, meaning that if you see the rejection letter, the very end of the rejection letter, you will see that you can reapply provided the situation has changed. So the situation change could be anything. It could be a change in the amount of money that you have had in the bank account. It could be if it was due to a lack of family ties. It could be the fact that you have forgotten to mention something. Now you want to mention that. All these reasons call for reapplication, not a reconsideration, because officers did the right thing. You did not provide. Now you cannot come up and say that, well, I want to provide this and hence please reconsider the decision. It will not work. So whether you want to go for a reapplication or a reconsideration, generally speaking, a reapplication gives a much better option, because you are then able to like send a holistic application. A reconsideration does not give you that kind of an option, because you are not really allowed to introduce any such new evidence. Other point you have to keep in mind is that a reconsideration is not a legal, it does not fall into the legal periphery. It is mostly on the discretion of the officer whether he actually even reads your reconsideration request or not. So you can very well ignore that reconsideration request and can just send you an information mail saying that, well, whatever we have done is correct. When it comes to reapplication, you are paying the government fee and making a fresh application yet again one more time, and hence an officer, probably a different immigration officer, will have to go through your file and then make a fresh decision. So generally speaking, obviously, has reapplication has a greater probability of success as compared to a reconsideration. Having said that, it is impossible to comment on case specific situation, obviously, without a consultation. So if you would like me to assess your case to tell you whether you should go for a reapplication or a reconsideration, would just be good. A consultation is the very first mode that you are looking at. Secondly, and the very importantly, other factor that you have to look for is the timing of the reconsideration and the reapplication. Those timings are actually very, very different. If you are to just go for a reconsideration, logically speaking, you should not wait a very long time, because you are saying that you have done everything correctly and then the officer has incorrectly made a decision. So you should apply for a reconsideration literally as soon as possible, maybe 3 days after the decision, 7 days after the decision, probably not more than that. However, if you're going for a reapplication, you're then obviously including a lot many additional documents, a new submission letter or an explanation letter, a lot of other fact finding would be done, needed to be included, and then you are submitting that application. So typically, a reapplication means that you would need to spend about a month or a 15 days or a 20 days kind of a time, prepare a good full fledged application kit, and then have to resubmit the file, right? So if you're going for a reapplication, take a little bit more time, go through everything, submit everything properly. If it is a reconsideration, probably you do not want to waste too many days in between your previous decision and the reconsideration request that you are placing. Again, it is very, very case specific, very, very individualistic. If you would like me to go through your documents, read through your notes, or even understand the case holistically to be able to guide you in the right direction, come for a consultation. We'll be more than happy to do that for you. I hope this helps you guys in the next one. Bye now. Cheers.